So, how do bedbugs infest? The processes of reproduction for bedbugs happen simultaneously to that of humans. Humans, in their anthropocentric, anthropomorphic, and normalizing ways, have named bedbug mating traumatic insemination. The female bedbug, which is only called a female because she produces white, oval eggs, does not have a vaginal cavity, although she does have a tube where those eggs have to come out. To put sperm into the female, the male, which is only called a male because he has a penis, mounts the female and sticks his sword-like or hypodermic penis directly into her abdomen, piercing her exoskeleton and putting a hole in it. The female abdomen houses an organ called the ectospermolage, purely for the purposes of mitigating the harmful effects of penetration. She too has a spermathecae, also known as a sperm sac, for which she can store sperm for a long period of time without needing to be engorged with new sperm. The female then produces a pheromone that says, "keep the fuck out," and she gets the hell out of Dodge to avoid further mating attempts by local males. The female bedbug thus starts her own colony and births her children away from the sword of her sexual counterpart. Therefore, infestation occurs because the female has to remove herself from the potential injury beyond the ectospermolage's ability to regenerate abdomen ectoskeleton cells. The more frequently she succumbs to the male, the less eggs she produces, and the more likely she is to die from all these puncture wounds. A single female bedbug produces up to 250 eggs in her shortened chemical-induced 4 to 6 month lifespan. Males are indiscriminate when it comes to sexual preference. In fact, one could argue that, like vampires, they are hemophiliacs, or blood sexuals, because they are attracted to any bedbug that has recently fed on human blood, even relatives, as they are one of the few insect species to not become damaged by the effects of inbreeding. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to become swollen with blood. It is a slow and seductive process. Bedbugs also prefer the blood of the human head and neck, and they hide during the day and are active at night, quite vampiric indeed. Female bugs are larger than males, and male bugs also mount other males. So to be a larger male means that you also have to watch out for the sword of your brother, cousin, best friend from high school, and I digress. Although males also produce a pheromone that keeps potential mounters away, they lack the female ectospermolage, which helps ward off infection and heal puncture wounds. Therefore, large male bottoms are at greater risk for injury, or in the case of multiple mating attempts, death. For a bedbug, to eat is to risk a sort of inter-colony sexualized murder. The marginalized, the queer, are more likely to become infested with bedbugs and have their blood robbed from them in the middle of the night due to their oft-diminished economic situations. Their non-normative identities and presentations keep them from employment in high-paying jobs where the figure of a white-suited man sits at a desk in a skyscraper, looming hierarchically above his inferiors, a framed picture of his hot blonde wife and 2 perfect children, a cis boy and a cis girl in his view at all times. The man may be closeted and a transnational traveler, finding himself in the bed of a more marginalized figure that does have bugs in his bed, say an Estonian, who himself is repressed by the post-socialist states of Eastern Europe, or parents that grew up in the Soviet Union. They may meet in the original Sokos Hotel Viru, a fancy hotel in the nation's capital, with online reviews boasting of bedbugs on every floor. A bedbug may crawl in a dimple in the businessman's luggage before flying 12 hours back to his suburban home. His wife's and children's belongings become engulfed in the telltale brown spots of digested human blood, all due to the species' ability to transgress human geopolitical, architectural, and ideological boundaries and borders. Despite efforts to ameliorate the problem, one bug hitchhikes a ride to his daughter's dorm room and hides in her roommate's stuffed animals. As the bugs spread throughout the dorms, the mattresses become infested. They are thrown in a dumpster, allowing the bugs to crawl into a different human world by attaching to passers-by, or when a local opiate addict drags a mattress out of the dumpster to bring into her apartment for her child to sleep on, a free mattress to satisfy a bare human necessity. Some people have had the wherewithal to spray paint bed bugs on their mattresses before laying them out on trash day, whereas others willingly transmit this socio-political problem to those they consider inferior. One man's international indiscretion is a poor, rural, single mother's infestation. Can this quote-unquote natural process be called traumatic if it remains quote-unquote natural? If a human male were to pierce a human female's abdomen with a penis or sword or hypodermic needle of any kind, this would immediately be sent to court under the guise of a #QueerAFMeToo movement. This would be called rape, sexual assault, sexual violence, domestic partner violence, etc. Not only do humans villainize bedbugs for their middle-of-the-night perturbations of human flesh, but they also have woven a web in which they have transformed bedbugs into sexual predators. The female bedbug lies in wait of the stench of human blood through the skin of humans. While the sun is out, she hides thigmotropically amongst the edges of a mattress, away from light and human sight. When the sun goes down, the human inhabitants of the home, 2 females, begin to behave friskily, making love and light under the gentle glow of candles and the soft hum of Luther Vandross. When they have completed their non-reproductive mating session and turned on the sleep-inducing sound machine to an ocean wave setting, they lay in each other's arms until they fall asleep. The bedbug, knowing that she is safe to exit from her hiding place, crawls slowly across the sheets. Finding the flesh of her desires, she protrudes her rostrum into the skin of one of the queers, sucking blood from the human's neck for a full 8 minutes until her body has transformed into a pill-like shape. When full, she slowly climbs back across the bedspread to where she originated. All of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, she is mounted and a hole pierced through her abdomen, sperm finding its way to her spermoledge. An uncontrollable repulsion rises within her. She breaks away and crawls measuredly to a seat across the room. She begins to produce nymphs every day. When born, they are see-through until they feed on their own blood meals. Her family grows. They begin mating with each other. As the size of the colony increases, the bedbugs become more risky about feeding times, leave more bloody stools in the humans' belongings, and the humans become more aware of the attacks. Then, the humans call their local pest control agents, who are fueled by the last century's chemical, medical, military-industrial complex. They quarantine all infestable items in thick, clear plastic bags. The heat treatments begin. The female bedbug keeps finding corpses of her children and other relatives. Then the chemicals come, and she too is exterminated. The barriers of human skin are penetrated by chemicals leaching into the women's already queer bodies. Paranoia sets in, scratching, new rashes, a new mattress, and new clothes. Scratching, mounting costs, a new apartment. Scratching, denial of love and friendship from friends and family. Scratching, eviction. The list goes on.